Hey everybody. You know, I just my these are my thoughts about marks of a true believer. I don't think it's a mysterious thing. I don't think it's difficult to tell who is a true believer and who isn't. I I don't think it's a hard thing to see. And I've been talking about the marks of a true believer and just some things I think about, and because I want to know about myself, what is different about me, how can I know that I am a true believer, you know, what is it about me? There's so much. I mean, what is it about a person that you can see, that shows that a person is a true, bona fide believer in Jesus Christ and a follower and a disciple of Him? Boy, that's a mouthful, ain't it? Well, one thing I thought about that I'd like to highlight is, when you're a true believer, you are different. Something has changed about you, from when you weren't a follower of Him and now you are. There's something different about you. And it's not just something, you are different. You have so much has happened to you by God Himself. It's by His doing do you stand in Christ. What He did to you, in you, around you, He totally changed you. Now, you still look the same. And are you perfect? No, no. Do you still sin? Absolutely. But you're different. And one thing that He did to you is He separated you from the consequence of your sin. See, you've been separated from the power of sin. In actuality, there has been a sanctification process. What that means is you have now been set apart unto God. You're not a dead, lifeless, separated from God individual anymore. You have been made alive unto God. And there has been a death that has taken place. That old man, who you were, is dead, gone. And Romans 6 says you have died with Christ and rose to walk in the newness of life. See, you're a new creature now. 2 Corinthians 5:17. You don't walk according to the flesh anymore. You walk according to the Spirit. I mean, that is a fact, and it's not a command. It is a fact. You're different, and if you're truly born again, you are truly different. That's why you can't fool a lot of people. Now, some you can, and I think you can fool the other superficial believers that are not born again. But you can't tell people that you're a Christian if you haven't changed. If you still walk according to the flesh and are ruled by the flesh, I'm not talking about being perfect now, but the dominating factor over your life. You can't tell us that you're a Christian if your life still looks like all the other people that walk and act like the world. See, the word walk, right here in Romans chapter 8, it says, "Therefore there is now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit." The word walk is an ancient word, an ancient expression, I should say, to describe your daily direction, your daily conduct, your disposition, your bent, if you will. See, your mind is now set toward the Spirit, so you don't walk according, so that you do walk according to the Spirit. If your mind is set on the Spirit, then you'll walk according to the Spirit. I'll get it right in a minute. You think differently, so you act differently. This is your walk. In fact, it's not a command. It's not a request. It is a fact. Everything changes for the true believer. I mean, this is not something that you hope will show up in the believer or in your life. This is how you, as the believer, will now live, because it's who you are. It ain't something you got to make happen. It is simply who you are. I mean, let's think about this for a minute. So, what did you want when you answered the call to come to Christ? When he beckoned you on the inside and you come to him? Well, I would venture to say that number one thing that you wanted is you wanted to be rescued from eternal hell. And then number two, I would I would say that you wanted to be delivered from your sin. Remember Matthew 5? If you haven't looked at it yet, it's the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes. But the people in the kingdom, it says, will hunger and thirst for righteousness. Why? Because they hate the wretchedness of their sin. That's something that is different about you. But on the other hand, there are superficial people, superficial believers, false Christians. They were led to believe that they answered a call to come and be made happy, to have all their wants and desires and dreams and goals and plans to be fulfilled. They answered the call to come and be happy. The invitation, well, I'm going to talk more about that in the next video, but, I hope that he that has ears to hear can hear what the Spirit is saying, not what I'm saying. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. You need to be having your ears perked up to hear what the Spirit of God is saying to you and be led by him. But interesting stuff.